Hey guys, your pal Brian. It's the 14th of June, Sunday, and this morning start off with some bad news. This morning at 2 a.m., Officer Julian Keene with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission was killed in the line of duty.
Telemetry lost.
He was actually off duty, which there is no such thing, and observed
telemetry recovered.
Observed a hit and run, and
telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Gave chase in his personal vehicle and caught up with the bad guy and ended up getting shot and killed in the line of duty. We were told quite clearly that we're never off duty, so and he wasn't either. But yeah,
Throttle active.
you can get killed. Taking off. Yeah, I'm a little nervous of that. I'm out here flying in the National Forest. A little nervous of the tree line there, so you'll bear with. And I haven't flown this in a couple of weeks, so let's see if I can fly it.
Active.
Oh, beautiful backdrop, huh? Even though I won't be able to do Dale-like maneuvers, still a beautiful backdrop. So heidi ho to y'all. Sorry to start off the day with that somber note. But what is done, and he's passed, and we will have prayers for his family. Yeah, it's a no-no. I feel like Steve flies low.
6 minutes.
On a better note, my wife and I got permits to go into the national park, Yosemite National Park, as it opened up last Thursday. And as such, we start tomorrow. So really jazzed about that, seeing God's great beauty, and I can't tell you how happy that makes us. Yeah, just gonna do lazy eights and stuff like that, because there's a wind coming off of that side of the mountain, and I don't want to lose this thing. I've still got 5 months on the road. Just getting to fly it makes me happy.
5 minutes.
Officer Julian Keene, this flight's for you, buddy.
Throttle hold.
Oops. Oops. Let's try this again.
Throttle active.
Yeah, it'll do something really weird where it kind of spins that prop out if you give it too much gas, and I'm not exactly certain what causes that. And I haven't been ambitious enough to go see what causes that. So there's that. Yeah, I got shut out at the high school. They put a cable across both gates. So what that leads me to believe is somebody been in there that shouldn't have been. Vandalism or whatever, theft. So they put cables across there. And I hate that because, you know, even though it's small, it ain't as small as this. Yeah, you get a little wind there coming up. So yeah, today is kind of screw off day at the house, and we plan to leave tomorrow. Bright and early, about 6:30. We'll be on the road and in the park before 8, and that makes us happy, exceedingly happy.
3 minutes.
And so the plan is to work a day, that is go in the park, hang out with the dog a day, work a day, hang out with the dog a day, and then our permit extends into the weekend. Well, we're not going to go on the weekends with the rest of the yahoos, although it's supposed to be pretty tame. We'll see, because there's only a certain amount of people allowed in. So what we're doing is in theory skipping the weekends, and then we take off next either Sunday or Monday and go to a hotel in Lake Tahoe, South Lake Tahoe, California. And I'll be visiting with Tahoe Ed, and that'll be nice. Visiting with one of the RC group guys, and I think we're going to go try to do a boat tour, maybe a lunch tour. So we're really jazzed about that. We get to carry Ellie. $20 a day surcharge for the dog, and then they do like Florida does. They got about 1 million resort taxes that they beat you in the head with.
Throttle hold.
I don't know what's going on with this thing. Maybe been crashed so many times because I give it gas, and I don't want to give it too much gas because you know how it is. The thing will spin out. But I did get one loop in. That's funny. All right, let's try this one more time.
Throttle active.
Some of the most beautiful scenery. Yeah, I appreciate Steve Flies Low and his scenery. In fact, it really,
1 minute.
I think that's it. Anyway, it makes me long for Florida.
Throttle hold.
But this right here, it's a whole different deal. Yeah, let's put another battery on here and knock this out, and then I'm gonna maybe fly my helicopter or the excuse me, M02. And fly one or the other, or both, or none. And you guys will see this uploaded tomorrow, actually. See ya. Morning, children's. Go pal Brian. Same day. Did not lose my Edge 32, which makes me happy, as you might imagine. And now we're going to get a little helichopper flying in here at the edge of the High Sierras, Stanislaus National Forest. Try to get in a flight with all my little tools before the wind picks up. This isn't Illinois Brian. I don't fly in the wind. Homie don't fly in the wind. So yeah, in review, Julian Keene.
Throttle
succumbed to his injuries after having given chase in reference to hit and run.
Stabilization off. Stabilization on.
Officer Julian Keene. I did not know him. I've been retired 3 years, and it's interesting that the community knew him, though. Beloved officer. Wifey and I are going into the park tomorrow, and we had scored 2 7-day permits, of which we will attend every other day. That way we don't burn ourselves out. Yeah, you'd think if you're not retired or you don't know anything about retirees, what ends up happening is you're like, oh man, you got every day off and you want to haul ass and go do stuff. No, you don't. No, you don't. You want to kind of take it easy and not make it a job. So it was my wife's great idea to go ahead and me get a permit. Lovely ladies that are camped with us, Jen and her wife. They are out of here tomorrow. Family emergency, and we wish them Godspeed and safe trip home. That's always hard. Really a pleasure to have met them.
2 minutes.
Word camper with a K. Yeah, that's a backdrop for flying. And I think after this I'll fly the M02 with an onboard camera. Because what my experience with this spot right here is that as the land heats up, it starts whipping a wind up here like you don't know. And I don't know that I'll have the opportunity to continue to fly here. You want to see if you can get every piece of equipment. Let's see if I can get this little chucker close to me without blowing it into me, and we can get some of the background in as well. Yeah, that thing will cut the bridge of your nose. It sure will. Yeah, this is Stanislaus National Forest, so no prohibitions, no draconian prohibitions against flying right here. See if I didn't get that in here.
Seconds.
Alrighty, landing. I think I might be able to get one more battery in with this.
20 seconds. Throttle hold.
It was funny, listen to Steve fly low. Listen to his video with like a little blade, an old blade helicopter. You could hear the main gear grinding, and it was the early days of adopting gyros from telephones. So yeah, it's crazy. Alrighty, I'll be back in well, just hang with me. If we lose video, we lose video. I actually have another battery, but for my cam. Another battery. So yeah, we're jazzed about the coming days. We actually get to go back to air quotes work and do what we've been really designed to do these days, and that's travel. And as I may have mentioned or not in the previous video that I've yet to upload, we're out of here July 5th and we head to Willits, California, and then to Plymouth, California, and then Crescent Falls, maybe Crescent Falls, Oregon, to see Crater Lake. And my wife's got us going up the seaboard. The downside is that we can't get into the Mount Olympia area of Washington as far as staying, and you reaches a point of diminishing returns where driving is just such a hassle. To go any kind of great distance.
Stabilization off. Stabilization on. Throttle active.
Taking off. So yeah, we are going to go to the eastern side of the mountains and see Mount St. Helena, so on and so forth. So
stabilization off. Stabilization on.
This thing is just wonderful. Special thanks again to Jason Kramer for hooking a brother up. Yes, initially it started out shitty because there's a burnout servo, and the dude you scored it from, with all due respect to him, knew it. He knew it. You can actually smell it. But the upside about that is that it only got flown a few times and there was no scratches on it at all. I mean, it hadn't been crashed.
3 minutes.
So you have that. At least it wasn't abused other than burning a servo out. And it had, it was a propensity of this thing to burn servos out, so. I need to get an old school book of matches that's made out of paper. And what you do is where you tear the match out from the bottom, you put just simply alcohol on it, and then you run it up and down the trace, and that cleans out the servo. Done it 100 times back in the early days of these linear servos. Need to go on Hobby King, or Banggood that is, and buy about a half a dozen of them, because you can get them for $6 a piece. These are 20.
2 minutes.
It's exciting to watch all the advances in radio control. E-Sheen and some other company have made these GPS helicopters, and now you can flip a switch and they'll go upside down and you can fly them. Just amazing. $500, which you could not have touched back in the day. It was when we first started flying the HK 450, which was the knockoff of the Align 450. What you ended up with was, let's see if I can get a bit. I want to get a video snap of this. It was $250 all up. That was electronics and everything. What you ended up with. And that was just a heading hold tail
1
gyro.
minute.
Now you can buy a 450 size or so helicopter. I think it's even bigger. It looks like it's even bigger. For pennies on the dollar. Landing.
Throttle hold.
So you gotta like
30
that.
seconds.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead and shut off and get another machine. Hey guys, it's your old pal Brian yet again. And I'm back for a fly of the M02 before the wind gets stupid. This is a pretty neat aircraft. It really is. This is truly what the Convergence series should have been. And for shame, our friends at Horizon Hobby didn't do this. This is actually a cross between the Convergence and the Xvert. If we didn't have an appreciable breeze here, what I'd do is I'd put it in Xvert mode. But I don't want to do that. Love the little Joker though, and hopefully I'll have it around for a bit by flying it conservatively, as you know that I do. Yeah, pretty neat airplane. Comes with a transmitter, and eventually what will happen with me is I will graduate, if you will, over to something like the Radio Master or the Jumper once they iron out all their faults. They have a 5-in-1 card, and what I can do is just have everything on one radio. Oh my goodness. People, can you imagine? I'm almost there now, but not quite. Not quite. Yeah. You know, that's pretty damn cool to be able to have everything on one. There's a big pile of dog shit. Actually, it's funny, it's coyote shit. The coyotes, what they did was they all come and poop in the same spot. Poop and pee. See if I can get a nice video grab out of this. Pretty neat little aircraft. It genuinely is. And that battery that's in there will allow it to run for 11 minutes. Don't have a lot of authority when you do this. You know, the wind will get it. But you know, it makes you look cool. Let's see if I can't walk around here, set it down, and move the camera. I like doing that. Yeah, I won't be flying much radio control here in the coming days. I'm going to bring my Mavic with me to Tahoe for what that's worth, and see how that'll go. Yeah, it's in its own ground effect here, so let's lay plop. Oh my goodness, right dead in the middle. That'll never happen again. So let's get a picture of the little bugger. We'll zip that camera off. Ooh, they got an invasive plant here. We'll call it Sticky F, and it goes into your socks. Terrible plant. Excuse me. Goodness. Always the gentleman. Keep forgetting to snap my radio in. Set it down and turn the camera backwards as well for fun. Oh, I got here just in time. Well, the breeze has got stupid. The JJRC M02, and I don't know, it was 100 and some change, and then I went ahead and paid for $30 delivery, and sure enough, it was exactly 28 days getting to my house. It's going to be a while before that happens again. China's reeling from their COVID situation, and who knows, everybody says it originated there, and it probably did. Most of the time it does. What do they call those wet markets, where you live with your animal? Interesting viruses. They aren't like a bacterium. They're not as complex. But they're brutal. Landing. And let's move that little SQ12 cam boggart for fun. Taking off. And that's another thing. 11 minutes. I think I get 12 out of the other battery. What? The convergence is 6 minutes, and that's with the tailwind. Oh, and more news for those of you that may not have seen it in the written prose. I had my neighbor called me the other day, the one whose yard I drive through the last 10 or so years, and who I've known for almost 30. We've married their children and buried their loved ones together. Well, his first wife of 42 years passed, and he's got lucky and fell in love again. And him and his new wife are starting a new life in a much smaller home over in an adjacent community. Well, he runs a business out of his house, and he has a worker that he thinks the world of. And his name's Chad. And I've seen him, but I don't remember, and I may have even said hi to him, but I don't remember whether I introduced myself to him or not. I just don't have that memory. But nice young man. He's got a wife and kids, and they're going to lease the home with a provision that I still get to drive through the back. Isn't that something? I had a plan B with my son's other mother, who lives 2 doors down from where I drive in, but it wasn't quite as convenient. It's nice to be able to drive in it when you want, and I could drive in when her husband and kids go to work, but I don't want to wait that late usually. I want to go ahead and get my flights in early. But yeah, I've still got that resource to go down to the lake and fly, and for that I'm very grateful. I mean, very grateful. Now this thing has done something a little sketch before with a stock battery, and that's kind of going to LVC in short order. So I'll be bringing this thing down in just a second. Because who knows how long I've been flying. Yeah, I'll take that. That was the worst of them yet. Let's move the camera back around one more time. It'll blink if it gets annoyed. It's so fun to fly. It's mindless. Almost charged 2 batteries for it. Almost did. What it'll do though, just like a regular airplane, when it hits LVC, it'll land it. So. Well, the lights aren't blinking, so. Yeah, I'm not going to be flying out at the RV park anymore. I will though, like July 4th weekend. Probably what I'll do thereabouts is go ahead and fly the park now that it's full, or then it'll be full. Right now it's not really full. Just to show a contrast from the early days from when I got there 91 or 93 days ago. I think it's 93 days. Getting into that dirty air out there. I'll blow that bitch right back in them trees behind me. Oh, there we go. We're blinking. So let's bring her down. Not at me. Oops. Got a little windy. All right. Yeah, wind's picking up. I think we'll probably call it. It was a nice morning, and haven't tore up any equipment, and got to visit with you guys. So with that said, all the best. See ya. See you. Hey guys, your old pal Brian. On the way home, I drove by the pit, shooting pit, and there wasn't anybody here, so I says, you know what? I have flown here before, and it's, it's down in a depression, so there's some wind, but not an enormous amount of wind here. So maybe I can fly. Yeah, the only problem I got is man, they shoot here a lot, and there's shell casings everywhere. So those are one step above a fucking roofing nail as you're driving around. So let's see how that goes. I'll be checking that when I get back. Yeah, dirty air here, but at least you can fly. It's very dirty.
6 minutes.
other battery down to 3%. So at about 6 minutes for this one, we're gonna probably go ahead and shut it down. I need to abridge my timer. You're not gonna get 7 minutes if it's windy or you're doing any type of acrobatics on these batteries anyway. Yeah, I was glad there's nobody down here shooting.
5 minutes.
It got pushed down. Last time I was here, there's water everywhere. And what stinks about that is this ain't like Florida. It's sand. It'll freaking stick to everything. Yeah, see that? All them shell casings. Those are not good. Not good. I like this wind. If it was Dale, he'd just laugh at the wind.
Throttle hold.
I do not laugh at the wind. Well, I did knock my camera and battery loose, so we might give it one more chance.
Slow active.
Because it's starting to get windy here too. Yeah, when that ground heats up, things start to go awry. I want to keep it out of the power lines,
4 minutes.
if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's my center point, just letting me know where I'm at throttle wise. Man, thanks for talking me into this one more time. 100 times I've told them what a great airplane. Some other guy on the forums bought one too, and he's all happy that we talked about it and bought it, and
3 minutes.
really it's a joy. And all for about $100. I will say though that it was one of the harder builds. It was, because it took you a week to build the damn thing. You'd put one side together, then the other, and you'd have to let it dry, and it had to be kind of in a jig, a homemade jig, to keep it, because it's just literally EPP foam. Well, I did some gluing on that thing the other day. I think it was this one. And that fucking UHU glue started melting it. Drive you crazy.
2 minutes.
Nah, we'll knock it off at the 1 minute mark. Go easy on the batteries. I could recharge, but it's just going to keep getting more and more windy as the day goes on. And as we know, homie don't like wind. Homie don't do that.
Throttle hold.
Let's call that very successful landing a landing. hopefully it didn't. Most of the stuff, it's pretty tough, you know. Alrighty.
Throttle active.
It's in good shape. Alright guys, slipped in one last flight. All the best. So yeah.